Hi all, my name is Hackett-Bauer and I'm presenting over my case study, Copyrights and Computer Regulations. Okay, so section 1, which is to summarize. So, St. Regis is a small town school with roughly 420 students and is working with a limited budget, trying to provide the best for their teachers and students. The school came up with extra monies from the PTA to establish a school-wide computer lab. With the money, teachers were able to pick up to 2 software programs for their own choice to go into the computer lab. After receiving the software and seeing how much it had helped the teachers and students, the librarian/media specialist, Miss Lynn, thought of a brilliant idea to copy on a flash drive all of the programs each teacher got to choose and redistribute these copies to all the teachers for the computers in their personal or general classroom. With this, she was trying to stretch the funds given to help the students learn. Unfortunately, this made one of the teachers, Mrs. Brandon, very uncomfortable and refused the copies as she stated that it was copyright infringement, and the school did not own multiple ownerships for each copy that was made. She informed the principal, Mr. Sample, and asked him to address the situation. Mr. Sample stopped by the library to get a better understanding of the situation from Mrs. Lynn. Upon arrival, seeing the flash drives in the library, Mrs. Lynn explained her reasonings and even mentioned that the PTA president helped her copy the programs. Mr. Sample is stuck in a tough situation trying to figure out what to do to help accommodate for what has happened. So, number 2, section 2, legal and ethical issues. As of right now, no one has been physically harmed, but from the copying of the software programs. But I do believe emotionally, one of the teachers, Mrs. Brandon, is worried and upset about what has happened. Emotionally, Mrs. Lynn is upset because she has had all the intentions for helping, and wanting to do the right thing for the education of students at St. Regis, but legally, Mr. Sample has to come up with a decision of what is ethically correct before, things get out of hand and the school gets sued for illegal use of copyright software programs. So from one of our earlier assignments, I really liked this definition of copyrighted guidelines. So if the materials are copyrighted with all rights reserved, the users are not allowed to republish them without copyright holders' explicit permission. This comes from the Open Educational Research Network. So, the statement quoted above references when there are copyrights on specific documents or software without permission, you cannot make copies of these materials. Therefore, Mrs. Lynn was breaking copyright laws making the copies of the software. Okay, so section 2 continued. Legally, this is like a small summary. Legally, there was no written permission for the software to be copied, but no one was physically harmed. I do believe that feelings might have been hurt, but no one was truly harassed. So synthesize, section 3. Illegal copies of school software were made and have been distributed to multiple teachers without the legal copyright license, therefore making all of those teachers liable for having illegal copyrighted materials. Section 4, synthesize the facts. So first, we're going to talk about relative facts. Second, we're going to talk about people. Third, we're going to talk about place. And fourth, we're going to talk about programs. Same thing. So the first slide. So synthesize, and we're talking about people. We are first introduced to the St. Regis K-8 school with roughly 420 students. The stakeholders in the story are Mrs. Lynn, Mrs. Barrington, and Mr. Sample. The school has been given monies to help support students on a very limited budget. Software was purchased for the school, and with all good intentions put forth, software was illegally copied and redistributed to multiple teachers in the school. Mrs. Brandon is very upset about this and has asked Mr. Sample to look into the matter. Mrs. Lynn has made the illegal copies of the software, wanting the best for the students with limited funds. So the next section is place. St. Regis is a rural K-8 school with 420 students located 25 miles from a large city. Doesn't exactly say size of the city, just says large city. Location of the illegal copies was the school's library computer lab. The next one talks about program. With the monies given from the PTA, the school was able to purchase computers for a computer lab. The teachers K through 8 were given the opportunity to purchase 2 software programs each. These software programs were downloaded to the computer lab, but later illegally copies were made and distributed to all K-8 teachers in their general classroom. So section 5, review and prioritize. So in the next few slides, we're going to talk about damaging information, belief or outcomes, stakeholders, what to learn, and how to make an informed decision. So the first one is the review and priorities. So damaging information. If the publisher was to ever learn about the copyrighted software program, the school could be sued not only for copyright infringement, but for all the time the amount of times the software was copied and the amount of copies made, the school district would be fined. Belief or outcome. The stakeholders involved are the school librarian, media specialist who made the illegal copies, believing she did it for the right reasons, the teacher, Mrs. Brandon, who denied the illegal copies because she knew it was illegal to have ownership of the software, Mr. Sample, the principal, who has to deal with the situation that has happened, teaching Miss Lynn that what she did was illegal and and she needs to understand the legal ramifications for the school district. Stakeholders, from what our case study tells us, there are only 3 stakeholders who involved. All 3 of these stakeholders have different beliefs as to what is happening and their reasonings behind it. What to learn? That while Miss Lynn was copying the computer software for the right reasons of the student's enhancement for learning, she did not realize that there was massive legal ramifications behind copying computer software programs. Informed decisions. As of right now, I do believe there's enough valid information for Mr. Sample, the principal, to come up with a plan of attack to take care of the sensitive copyrighted information. So, I came up with 5 different types of options to deal with this situation. The first one, we were asked to make no change. Number 2, we were asked for the most drastic option, and then we were given options to choose what we thought might be, the least drastic. And so I kind of came up with 3 different ones. So option number 1, no change. This option, the principal would continue to let the librarian copy the software and distribute it to the general classroom teachers. No consequences for actions. Option number 2, this is the most drastic. This would be resignation of employment. For this option, the librarian specialist would have been fired for making illegal copies of computer software and redistributing them to the general classroom. So, option number 3, not as drastic. Unpaid leave. This option would put the librarian on leave without pay while the school cleans up the problem that has been created. The unpaid leave is supposed to teach the librarian to not repeat her actions. 4 would be delete copied programs. For this option, the school would be doing a recovery option of just deleting all files and not speaking of the illegal software copied again. And then finally, option number 5, delete and educate. The school would delete the illegal copied software program, then hold a teacher in-service where the teachers would bring in a presenter to give a detailed presentation on what copyright is and the effects and or consequences of illegal copywriting. So, let's weigh the pros and cons. Number 1, pros, student have access to programs. 2, illegal copies of software and no punishment has happened. Number 2, pros, the employee is gone. A con, there is no one to run the library or computer lab, and the illegal copies are still in the school. Option 3, pros, employees to be put on unpaid leave to think about actions. Cons, someone will have to cover the open position. And then you honestly don't know if the employee is truly taking this seriously or not. Number 4 option, the pros would be, the problem is fixed. Cons, there's no consequences. And number 5, the software is deleted. The employees have been educated. Cons, maybe not everyone's going to take the in-service serious. So what I believe the best option is option number 5. This is to delete the copies and educate. I believe that educating the teachers on copyright laws in the end is the best solution. So implementation, choose the path. I would begin by collecting all of the flash drives and asking teachers to delete the illegally given copies of the software. I would then ask the teachers to attend a required training session on copyright infringement and the effects and consequences of illegal copying. Third, discuss with the staff what they have learned and if they need to do another cleaning of illegal software that the school did not know about. And 4, check in with the staff on their progress. The next step, what will happen? I believe that most of the teachers will do what they are asked, as they will be better educated on the topic. Therefore, they will not put themselves, the school, or their jobs in jeopardy. Who needs to know? I believe the entire staff needs to be educated on copyright infringement, and then everyone needs to do a deep dive on their computer to delete any copyrighted materials. Involvement, I truly believe the principal can handle the situation on his own, but if there's any superior, like a superintendent, then they should probably also be in on the process and kind of know what's going on and how the situation is being corrected. So warn, don't threaten. So we want to warn the teacher, but not make them feel threatened. So I believe that after the cleanup has happened, the staff has been educated, it would be a good idea for the principal to bring in the librarian to talk about what has happened more one-on-one. After being educated, she may feel completely different about the situation. If not, then the principal needs to talk about potential and future consequences if it continues. So plan B. Worst case scenario, this doesn't work. So what do we do if no one changes their actions and continues to let the problem happen? If the school is to continue to find illegal software that has not been deleted, or the librarian is to continue copying software programs, bringing all affected parties in, giving them unpaid leave and absence to think about the situation and the seriousness. So, final thoughts. In conclusion, I believe that everyone makes mistakes and should have the opportunity to correct their mistakes, giving the librarian and any teachers who use the illegal copy software time to delete and clear whatever mistakes they have made. This would give them a chance to start fresh. Ultimately, what the librarian did was in the best interest of the students, but she didn't understand the legal ramifications and liability the school may have had when this happened, ultimately making the learning environment unsafe for the students and the staff. As a result, staff walks away from the situation being better educated on laws, policies, regulations, and copyrighted materials. I also believe as a school principal and or administrator, you are ultimately responsible for making those tough calls. It might not be what everyone likes to hear, but you are doing it for the well-being of them and the students. After reviewing this case study and my justifications for it, I do believe I have evaluated the situation in its entirety, communicating well to the staff what has happened and how we will be changing things, resulting in the staff being better educated on laws, rights, policies, and regulations of copyrighted laws. This will inadvertently be transferred to the learning of the students, hopefully educating them on, laws, rights, policies, and regulations on copyrighted material as well. Here's my reference, and that's all. Thank you.